So I went to the library the other day with my sisters, and I was bored out of my mind, let me tell you, because I'm not really a huge reader unless it's the black and white solace that is manga. Now, I asked my sisters if they keep any manga in this library, which they did, and there was only one. It was Hikaru no Go, which I read a really long time ago in elementary school. So that wasn't very satisfying, but then they pointed me towards the DVDs, which there were hella anime. So much that I didn't even recognize all of them. Sure, I recognized some, but not all. But one really stood out to me, and it was a series called Noir, mostly because they had the entire collection of this, not just one DVD, but all of the episodes. And they even had the creditless opening and the behind the scenes stuff. It was crazy. While Death Note and Inuyasha would sit here on one CD, one being a movie and one being like episode 8 through 12. So I kind of got more of a motive to finally review this show, since I was supposed to a really long time ago, and it just never came to fruition because I didn't like how the video turned out. But this just lightened a fire inside me. I just had to say something about this show, because why? Just who had the idea of putting all of Noir in a library to show all these poor people? Poor bastards. But all jokes aside, I really don't think Noir isn't that bad. I mean, it's not the best show I've ever seen, but I've seen worse stuff, like way worse stuff. But it definitely isn't the best thing I've ever seen. Now, the series has two main protagonists. It features Kirika, the murder lolly, and Muriel Banquet, the most useless son of a bitch character I have ever seen in any show, which I will explain later. Now, Kirika sends her a message in some weird religious shit. I forgot what she said, but it was pretty religious sounding, I don't know. And they basically chase each other to a construction yard while murdering everyone in their sight that isn't them. And we learn that Kirika not only has amnesia, but she's John Wick's granddaughter. She literally murders everybody in the most stylish and creative ways. It is actually crazy. So after seeing this, Muriel is basically scared into traveling with this girl. And when they go under the code name Noir, so they can find out just what this means and how their past basically coalesce with each other. Now, the premise, in my opinion, is pretty strong, seeing as, number one, besides the chase scene, the action scenes were pretty stylish looking, and Kirika is strong enough character-wise, or at least in her design, to make me, kind of care about her journey and, want to learn more about her. I like how this starts, and it definitely had me hooked, and it's a really easy way to get a lot of other people hooked too. Now, we're heading into spoiler territory, so if you guys are going to get mad about spoilers from a show that came out in 2001, I suggest you skip to this time right here, and yeah, just letting you guys know. The main villains are known as Lost Soldats, and they're trying to revive the true Noir, being Kirika and Chloe, two assassins. That's what Noir is, a duo of assassination females. The Muriel was also a candidate to be a part of Noir, and to make that happen, the Soldats decided to kill Muriel's parents. Now, the person that did this turned out to be Kirika, which Muriel's mom told Kirika to take care of Muriel, which is why she's so close to her in the first place. Now, during this, Muriel kicks Kirika out, seeing as, she killed her parents and all, and told her, if I ever see you again, I'm gonna kill you. So Kirika walks out the road and learns just how humans really can be fucked up individuals. The people who died for dumb causes, like reviving Noir, and soldiers going in and slaughtering all those people, and it lit something inside Kirika, and she became what she is, and that's Noir. Now she gets back to the Lost Soldats hideout, which is a weird looking church, and she reunites with Pointy Face here, Altana. And Chloe, the weirdo. We'll talk about more about her later. Now, while they're here, they're getting ready for the ceremony to become Noir, And Mirio learns exactly where Lost Soldats is in the most weird way ever. Gets there and snaps Kirika out of her trance, whatever it is, and they end up murdering Chloe. After murdering Chloe, Altena kills some of the members of Soldats, seeing as she's a fucking weirdo, and gets murdered in and of herself by Mirio and Kirika. This whole section happened within a span of like 3 episodes, and honestly, it was meh. I mean, I didn't really care about Chloe enough to think she was even dangerous. And old pointy face here, or who the fuck is this bitch? I only seen her in this episode, really. Only other times we've seen her, she was patting Chloe in the back saying, "Good job for murdering that one guy. Yeah, good job." And then Chloe went to sleep. Like, the Soldats wasn't as dangerous as I was intended to be, or didn't really seem as dangerous as intended. So the main plot didn't really draw me. It was mostly about the episodic stuff, which the show is. It's an episodic show. And most of that stuff was way better than a lot of the main story beats, in my opinion. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But first, let's talk about the characters. Now, we're going to talk about the specific characters, which, besides the episodic villains, there really aren't that many. There's Kirika, the amnesiac, superhuman Lolly, who is super good at killing stuff, but she likes kitties, so it's okay. She's a badass, who has many feats in the show, and honestly carries it, in my opinion. She does literally all the badass stuff and solves all of the issues by shooting, and a lot more shooting, which is awesome. It's very awesome, and she's my favorite character in the show. She has a sweet personality, even though she's a murderer. And the fact that, you know, towards the end, she actually gets her happy ending that she was kind of deserved, is, you know, pretty satisfying to me, and I liked it a lot. Mirio, that's our femme fatale. That's the first character we ever see in the show. She's a French beauty who is completely fucking useless. Now, let me explain. Now, the fact that Kirika carried the show is honestly true. Mirio, for the most part, gets either almost killed, gets a couple shots on a couple people. Like, honestly, if we're gonna have a murder counter, most definitely Kirika has her VTOL, and Mirio just got to her first UAV. That's where we're at right now, because Mirio, most of the time, is just, she doesn't really do anything. Like, yeah, her story is of more importance than Kirika's, since, you know, the fact that her parents are murdered completely, like, goes with the fact that the Soldats are trying to recruit the members for Noir, basically. Which, you know, for story reasons, Mirio's definitely is the best character for that. She's for the story. But in terms of all the action and combat, Mirio really didn't have much of that. And when she did, it was kind of boring to watch her. I didn't like Mirio much. Now we're going to talk about Chloe, which I think she's supposed to be a ninja. I don't know. She has purple hair and a cloak. That means ninja, right? But putting that aside, Chloe looks fucking stupid. I don't like her ponytail. I don't like how she looks. She looks dumb. I think she's supposed to be like a cute murderer type, but I don't see it. She just looks like a damn alien with this stupid ponytail and these tacky colors. And she looks up to Altena a little bit too much. I mean, I guess she's like a motherly figure, which it doesn't explain in the show why she looks up to Altena this much in the first place, other than she's a fucking psychopath. Because we know why she looks up to Kirika a lot, and that's because she was a master at killing stuff. She was there when Kirika murdered Mirio's parents. She was there smiling, like, good job, you're on your second kill streak. I don't know, she's a psychopath, and I didn't like her much. She didn't really do anything in the show. She kind of would show up, talk to Kirika a little bit, drink out of their cups, and dirty them, and then leave. Or she'd be like, I am the true Noir, and then leave again. She never really did anything. They never had any fights besides the one in the last episode where she got fucking bopped. So, you know, Chloe, no, didn't like her either. And we got old pointy face here, which, you know, for the final villain, she sure as hell had way less screen time than Tenten in Naruto Part 1. Yes, this is our main villain, and she barely even had any time on the screen. I really don't have much to say about her other than it was literally the worst villain I've ever seen in anything. My opinions on this show are pretty mixed. Because on one hand, it features a lot of really good stories about some things that, you know, are really good. That's all I can really say. It has really good stories that kind of put you into the character's mindset and really like makes you feel for them. But on the other, we have long chase scenes and really drawn out bullshit that bored the hell out of me for half the show. Plus, our main villains weren't even all that like good, like at all. Sure, it wasn't the worst villains I ever seen, but they were not good at all. Like, I hated Chloe and Alexander so much, and not in a good way. I just didn't like them. They weren't developed well. They didn't have personalities that made me really care about them. I just kind of wanted to hurry up and finish the show. So, putting all that in this perspective, I'll give the show about a 6.5 out of 10. I don't think it's the worst thing ever, but I really don't think it's that bad. And if anybody tells you that, they're wrong. And come fight me in Call of Duty 1-on-1 Snipers Only. Thank you very much. I'm glad you guys watched the video all the way through. I'm back on my anime review shit. And the next anime review I'm going to do is about an anime called Moonlight Fantasy that just came out a couple weeks ago. And it's one of my favorite shows. Not going to be a really long review since it's a new show, but just letting you guys know what's on the radar for the next week, maybe 2. And I also have a surprise video in store later on also. So be prepared for that, guys. And thank you very much for watching the whole video. Sayonara.